Well, you know that over the last decade or so, we have spoken many times with Gary Evans. He's an oil man, you know, Magnum Hunter and Hunter Resources and everything else. Well, now he's not really an oil man anymore. He's gone into another business, hemp. Yep, hemp. Gary Evans is the chairman and CEO of Generation Hemp, and he joins us right now. It's good to have you with us.
Thank you, David. Very nice to be with you after a couple years of being off the radio.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're always doing something. You're always active, and I always know that you're usually right. But hemp, tell me about it. First of all, make the distinction because I think hemp. I think most people think hemp. I immediately think marijuana. You're not in the marijuana business?
No, it's a fallacy that many people don't really understand. But cannabis is kind of the mother, and you got marijuana on one side and you got hemp on the other, and they're basically sister plants. They look very similar to one another, but the primary difference is CBD is derived from hemp, which you've heard about with many products on the market today, and hemp cannot have greater than 0.3% THC in it to be legal, and THC is the hallucinogenic part of marijuana that makes people, excited. So being a public company, we're only allowed to be involved in the hemp business here in the United States. We cannot touch marijuana whatsoever. And we got to be sure that when our farmers bring us hemp to be processed, that it doesn't have greater than this 0.3% THC level that's monitored.
Well, so you may have just answered a question, because I was thinking, well, I understand now you're a gentleman farmer. But you're not growing hemp?
No, we're actually, we kind of use the analogy in the oil and gas business of the midstream. We're the guys that the farmers bring the hemp to after they harvest it in the field. And when they bring it to us, it's typically 90% moisture. And we dry it, clean it, strip it, and then give the flower back to them and keep the biomass stalks, which we make other products out of. So we're kind of like a dry cleaner. Take your dry cleaning in and get it all cleaned up, and you pay a fee and you get it back. So we're like a tolling operation.
So tell me the end market for this. I mean, I know about CBD, but I don't know how much quantity you need to make that. Who's the end user of hemp?
So that's where I'm so excited about this sector and where I believe it's going over the next 5 to 10 years. So let's back up a bit. Hemp was a product used by our forefathers in many, many different areas, and it was outlawed in the late 30s, early 40s because the families like the DuPont family, Rockefeller family, they didn't want hemp to compete with industrial products. And it's a very unique plant that has many great qualities. The fiber and the hurd can be used in many materials. So today, those materials include car paneling by BMW. Patagonia has an entire hemp line. Hempcrete, made for concrete. Hemp insulation, hardwood floors, plywood. We've just started an animal bedding division. So years ago, hemp was predominantly used for ropes. Many people don't realize the Declaration of Independence is written on hemp paper. George Washington was the first hemp farmer that was written about in the United States in his journals in Kentucky. The first 4 presidents of the United States were hemp farmers. So, but this is all outlawed. Well, when Trump at the end of 2018 signed the Farm Bill, he made hemp legal nationally. So different states have enacted their own laws, but it's a national product, can be moved interstate. And so CBD has been the predominant derivative from that legislation, but we believe the industrial side of the business is where this is really going to go. And that's what gets me excited about the hemp business.
So if our former president could with one stroke make it legal, can another president with one stroke make it illegal again? I mean, is this a stable business?
It's got way too much traction and everybody wants it. So no, I don't think that will. I think we're nothing but positive coming forward.
So is this a crowded field at all? I mean, it doesn't seem like there'd be that many barriers to entry.
Well, the problem is this. the big companies really want to be in this business. They want to have the fiber. Levi Strauss is looking for more product to make hemp jeans out of. The problem is the farmers, there's a big disconnect between the need and what the farmers are trying to do. And so we're kind of that connecting point. We're the largest processor of hemp in the United States by far. And we have more supply of biomass and herb product, probably tenfold than anybody else. So that we're trying to become that conduit so we can help big industry feel comfortable they'll have enough product to make the products they want to make.
Well, and Will, is this a good cash crop for a farmer? I mean, they can raise anything they want to on that land.
Farmers love it because it's so great for the soil. It's kind of revitalizes their soil, and it's a great rotation crop. So hemp, 2 years ago was really high price. The price has come down. It's now competitive with corn and soybeans, wheat, and what have you. So it's a great rotational crop, and you'll see more and more farmers start planting hemp in their fields.
Are there organized markets for this? I mean, I could go in the futures market and, buy a corn future or wheat or, short soybeans.
You can now. There's exchanges that have been begun where CBD and hemp products are being exchanged. It's still a new market and still a little volatile, but as anything, as time goes by, it'll get better and better.
Does this put you in a position to flip so that if marijuana does become legal in more and more states or maybe nationally, that you can refocus in that area?
That I get asked that question all the time, David. And I think when I first got in this business a couple of years ago, that was what I was thinking. Well, let me start out on the hemp side as a public company, and when marijuana becomes approval, flip over. But the longer I'm in it, and what I realize is there's so many incredible opportunities in hemp, I don't think I really have to. It's an option that'll probably be out there, but it's not something we're really shooting for.
Let me go back to something you said earlier. So you mentioned about Patagonia, one a hemp line of clothes, and Levi Strauss is interested. Is this because why? I mean,
okay, that's a great question. So why do these textile companies and these manufacturers want hemp? It's much stronger than cotton. Is longer. So why would a BMW put hemp in a door panel? It's because pound for pound, hemp is 10 times stronger than steel, believe it or not. And it's obviously much lighter. So all cars are trying to reduce weight, and hemp is a product that allows them to reinforce door panels without increasing weight. So the hemp wood that I looked at a company that makes hardwood floors about a month ago over in Kentucky. And the floors are absolutely beautiful. And as you know, lumber prices took off over the past year with the COVID-19 and the building boom. And so now hardwood floors made out of hemp are competitive with regular floors, and they're beautiful wood. So you're going to start seeing more and more things made out of hemp in our common everyday market.
I'm fascinated. So one last thing. So I've known you for a very long time as an oil and gas man, an energy guy. So was there an aha moment that you decided to get into the hemp business?
So as you know, David, my whole career, I've had 4 different companies on the New York Stock Exchange. This company is an OTC, getting ready to go to NASDAQ hopefully this year. And my background and career has been raising large amounts of capital on Wall Street. Raised about $7 billion in my life. And I did not want to lose that capital raising capability and my name in an industry that had some significant headwinds. As you know, the oil and gas industry has been volatile, especially over the last year. And Wall Street has just turned their nose up against the industry. And so oil and gas has had to completely revitalize itself to become more of a dividend paying business, which means not as much capital is going in the ground, which means it's going to have much slower growth. So I wanted to start and get involved in a new business that was embryonic, that I could use capital raising capabilities and business acumen to try to build something substantial. And It's been a blast. I've had the best time over the past 2 years, traveling around the country, understanding the various businesses. It's all new. It's, we're basically pioneering brand new ground, and that's cool.
Yeah, that is cool. That's fascinating. Well, I can't wait to see how this turns out. In fact, I can't wait to buy my first pair of hemp blue jeans. I figure when I wear them out, I can.
Check out Levi Strauss. They're making hemp jeans. They primarily use the hemp like in the knees because that's where jeans wear out, and it's stronger and will last longer.
Well, and in a pinch you can smoke them, I guess. Well, maybe not.
Yeah, no. There's hemp cigarettes now, and there's hemp everything. You'll see hemp just more and more used in industrial products, and we're excited about it. We think that by being a conduit and providing large quantities of material, we can help the industry build out and use hemp in a smart way. So check out our stock symbols, GENH, and we're blowing and going.
Fascinating. Gary Evans, Chairman and CEO of Generation Hemp. It's good to catch up with you. Thank you for the time.
Good to catch up with you, David. We'll talk again soon.
Thanks. For more of our conversation with Mr. Evans, go to KRLD.com/CEO. I'm David Johnson, News Radio 1080 KRLD. 1080 KRLD.